department of stamina for Canelo is not an A. I mean, it's been plenty fights where we see the fade. You know, the exchanges, the volume of punches, you know, the output is low. And that's not to say fighters with low output round by round has low stamina. For you have a Floyd Mayweather, a Money Mayweather, you know, that version of Floyd Mayweather, the Money May. I still would rate his stamina 100% close. You know what I mean? If not 100%, like in the ballpark of it, upwards of 95%. Reason being is that when he does decide to engage in exchange, he's not winded. He's not visibly tired. You know what I mean? He's not showing his opponent that he's winded. You know what I'm saying? Especially in Canelo's recent fights, he's been showing a fade in the stamina department. And, you know, some people will rate him way lower than this. I give him a solid B, 85 overall, because I'm looking at the whole of his career, you know, the whole trajectory. And he's shown decent, solid stamina. He can stay in the fight 12 rounds. You know what I mean? Moving on. We have endurance, which I've given 100% A+. Reason why: stamina and endurance is not the same thing. Stamina is the ability to, well, your capacity and your threshold for those punch exchanges before the reset. You know what I mean? Endurance is the durability to last throughout a 12-round fight whilst maintaining energy. You know what I'm saying? I know that might go over a lot of people's head, but there is a difference between stamina and endurance. Canelo, he's on both feet, round 12. When the bell rings, he's on 2 feet. He's not on shaky legs. He's capable of taking punches, blocking punches, still throwing. You know what I mean? Still have respectable power. You know, you can't sleep on Canelo. No one can step in the ring and expect for Canelo to go to sleep by round 10. Caleb Plant, I love you, bro, but round 11, you know, we see what he did to Caleb Plant. The whole fight, he wasn't throwing much, and a lot of people say that Caleb Plant was winning that fight up until that point. But Caleb Plant, he got tired. His endurance showed some weakness, and Canelo capitalized on it. I get this man 100% in that department. And I'm not just highlighting the Caleb Plant fight. It's plenty fights. Look at the Triple G third fight, but the first and second fights, Triple G, I mean, yo, like the endurance was there. The whole, like every round, he was there in the fight. Regardless of who you felt won those 2 fights, Canelo was there. Same pop, same speed, all of that. You know what I mean? The endurance was there, man. I give his endurance 100% all day long. Moving on. We have overall strength for Canelo. You know, he has the capability to utilize his body weight and strength to stand against clinches and inside fighting. Overall strength 92. He's a strong guy at 5'8". I mean, dang. The man is 5'8", campaigning at 175. Moved up and got a title at 175. Light heavyweight from an aging Sergey Kovalev, but still he did it. Even stopped Sergey Kovalev. It's controversy behind the stoppage. I get it. I understand it. But still, man, the facts are the facts. The results are the results. The man did it. He even spun a block, went back up to 175, challenged Dimitri Bivol, in which he took a loss in that fight, but still he didn't get knocked out. He didn't get wobbled. He laid on the ropes a good deal of the fight, but he was never hurt. He was never hurt. He just got outboxed. He just got beat up, that's all. But it wasn't like that to where he just got dogged out. You know what I mean? And he held his own against the bigger, supposed to be stronger Dimitri Bivol. I mean, Canelo, man, he's moved from welterweight 147 up to junior middleweight 154 up to middleweight 160 up to super middleweight, which he's undisputed right now, 168, you know what I'm saying, up to 175 light heavyweight. He's moved up all these different weight classes, and he's never been visibly muscled to me. I mean, that's impressive. I gotta give him his credit. I gotta give him his just due when it comes to that overall strength. I know these are all-time metric skill ratings, you know, so I'm measuring his strength up to, you know, the likes of you know, freaking Chris Bird, you know what I'm saying, the likes of Oscar De La Hoya. I'm measuring his skill of, you know, his overall strength to Arthur Beterbiev, you know what I mean, Joe Smith, Deontay Wilder. You know, I'm measuring against all these guys, George Foreman, Joe Frazier, all of it. And I see Canelo Alvarez, when it comes to overall strength, a 92 for. I'm confident that he can stand his ground against pretty much anybody with his body weight. You heard? Moving on. Next skill component we have punching power, which I rated at an 89%. For punching power, let me detail it. Punching power is one punch knockout power measurement and capability. Added bruising and damaging capability. Let me repeat it one more time. One punch knockout power measurement and capability. Bruising and damaging capability. So me rating Canelo Alvarez punching power at 89%, a solid B+. It's not to say that he doesn't have no punching power. I'm not saying that. I mean, that's 11 basis points from 100, which is pretty close. You know what I mean? No punching power is 0. You know what I'm saying? It's 0. So if you compare 11 to 89, like what's the greater margin? A B+ is solid. It's solid. You know what I mean? Canelo, he's not a Deontay Wilder with the one punch knockout power measurement. You know what I mean? He's not George Foreman. He's not the heaviest hitter, but he hit hard still. You heard? Moving on. We got hand speed, which I rated at an 88%, a solid B+. For this skill component detail is physical speed of punches thrown with 8 ounce to 10 ounce gloves. And Canelo Alvarez, he has considerable, decent, highly above average hand speed. I mean, for a guy as strong as he is, you know, short and sturdy, them hands move fast too. Man. They're not the fastest, but it's still respectable, and you gotta be alert when you in there with them. Whole point. Next skill component, foot speed, which I have rated at an 82%, a B-. Physical speed of lateral movement around the ring and ability to cut off the ring effectively. Canelo can do that. You know, his footwork allows him to cut off the ring. You know what I mean? He knows how to trap and prevent his guy from getting too far away to where he wouldn't have to chase him down. You know what I mean? You know, he walks you down very slow. He doesn't have the fastest foot speed. I think everyone can see that. You know what I mean? Moving on. Next skill component, we have punch resistance, which I have rated at 100% A+. Not many moments in his career that he has shown visible weakness to being hit by a flush shot. Fights with big punchers like the likes of a Triple G and Dimitri Bivol, amongst many other fighters, prove that he has an A+ chin. Prove that he has an A+ chin. Because he's taken some solid punches, man. It stood up to him. You got to give him his credit on that. Next skill pillar, we have intangibles, which I rated overall a 91.75%. For the skill components in this skill pillar is head movement, anticipation, effective blocking, effective combination punches, and counter punching. The first skill component in this skill pillar is head movement, which I rated at 94%, a solid A, for Canelo has elite capabilities of slipping punches with timing and movement of the head. Next skill component, we have anticipation and effective blocking, which I rated at a 92%, for Canelo has the ability to anticipate incoming punches in order to catch the shot. I mean, shoot, we've seen it so many times. The Danny Jacobs fight, the Caleb Plant fight, the Amir Khan fight, man, Shane Mosley. So many times we've seen it, man. Triple G. I mean, you name it. James Kirkland, you name it, man. Canelo, he's elite in that regard. That could actually be a little higher, but that's just how I see it. Next skill component, we have effective combination punches, which I rated at an 84%. A solid B. For the detail of this skill component is the ability to throw up to 5 or 6 punches effectively for connection or opponent. And with Canelo, he's a one-shot guy, 1 to 2 shot guy. Like, he's like progressively or regressively over his career, he's turned into just a one shot. He's looking for that one shot to land. He's going to keep stabbing and attacking that area of your body until you just break down completely. He's not really a combination guy, though he can move those hands. He has the capability, but I mean, over the course of his career, which is long, I haven't seen it. He's a 1-2 shot guy, 3 shots at most. You know what I mean? But he's looking to land the effective shots to really put a hurting on this guy, to sit down on his punches, to put you out. The last skill component under the skill pillar of intangibles is counter punching, which I have rated high, 97%, solid A, for Canelo has the ability to attack immediately after opponent's opening. I think we can all agree on that. He's elite when it comes to this. His counter punching is phenomenal, for that's his style. He's looking for the counter. He's looking for you to make a mistake to put your lights out. That's just what it is. The last skill pillar that we have to cover is strategy execution, which I have rated overall for Canelo Alvarez at an 88.66%. For the 3 skill components under the skill pillar is pace dictation, awareness of opponent strategy, opponent weakness, exploitation. And the first one, pace dictation, I have rated a 91%, solid A-. For Canelo has the elite capability to either speed up the pace of the fight or slow down the pace of the fight while not becoming overwhelmed and out of control. He does that well. If you try to get too fancy and, let your hands go, and all he's going to do is get in that high guard, get close to you, and rip some shots. You know what I mean? He's going to dictate the pace of the fight. He has an elite capability of doing it. Now, did he do it against Floyd Mayweather? Absolutely not. Floyd Mayweather, he controlled the whole fight. I would say that Floyd Mayweather is an A+ in the pace dictation aspect of his skill set. You know what I mean? The better master, or the greater master that night, Floyd Mayweather against Canelo Alvarez. Floyd showed who was boss, and he dictated the pace of the fight the whole time. Canelo could do nothing with him. Canelo could do nothing with him. Period. Point blank, period. But that does not take away from the capability of a Canelo Alvarez, if that makes any sense. He's still elite. 91% I get to him. Moving on to the next skill component. Awareness of opponent strategy, which I have rated at a 90%, a A-. For Canelo has the elite ability to understand opponents' punch patterns, punch output, punching range, and perceived advantage. Extensive experience as a professional since the age of 15 contributes much to this attribute. Even sharing the ring with Floyd Mayweather proved to accelerate this ability to an elite level. As I stated in the previous skill component detail, him sharing the ring with Floyd Mayweather, we seen that Floyd, he was in control. Floyd was the master of that fight. Canelo could do nothing, but that's not to say that Canelo wasn't taking mental notes and that he didn't adopt the little tricks and trades that Floyd was doing to pick up on, his strategy to implement that in, Canelo's fights going forward, post Floyd Mayweather fight. You know what I mean? If that make any sense. Your corner has so much to do with your opponent. I mean, your corner has so much to do with the awareness of your opponent's strategy. But if you know, like how I know, when you get to a certain level in this boxing, you pretty much, you coach yourself. Like your trainer is there for your second set of eyes to see what you can't see, to, help, you know what I mean, keep the blinders on and to keep your vision on laser focus. You know what I mean? But if you have enough experience with this boxing, you can pretty much coach yourself through a fight. You know what I'm saying? Just based off of how a person is standing and, their punch pattern, and if they like to set up every combination with a double jab, you will know to catch the first one and sidestep the second one and set up a right. Like you can pick up on different tendencies, you know what I mean, throughout a fight, throughout your career. And like I said, with Canelo's extensive background, boxing since the age of 15 as a professional, though a lot of those fights were in Mexico, where a lot of guys, beefed their record up. You know what I'm saying? They beefed their record up to, have it look good. But the man, he was 40-0 by the time he fought Floyd. The man was 40-0 by the time he fought Floyd, with one draw. I mean, he's got the experience. You know what I'm saying? He has the experience. Great fighter, great boxer. He's very aware of any opponent that he's in the ring with, and he has an elite ability to understand what he's looking at. Moving on, the last skill component which we have is opponent weakness exploitation, which I rated at an 85%, a solid B. For Canelo has the ability to nullify opponents' strengths with various tricks and abilities serving as an offset. He has a solid ability, but many opponents have gained advantages in fights against him, but fell short due to a good shot changing the course of the fight. Right? So what I'm saying is, in fights like the Austin Trout fight, Austin Trout was doing pretty good up until about round 7. He did the stanky leg. It was it. You know what I mean? Erislandy Lara. A lot of people think that Lara won that fight. It was a very close fight. Very close. I mean, it should have been a draw, really. It should have been a draw. Very close fight. But did Canelo exploit the weakness? He kind of struggled. With certain fighters, Canelo struggles to exploit weaknesses. Even against a Caleb Plant, there was a struggle to exploit Caleb Plant's weakness. The only thing is that the very weakness that Caleb Plant has, it backfired on him. And I believe that weakness is stamina and endurance for Caleb Plant. He got tired, he gassed out, and it caught up with him. He could have easily won that fight against Canelo had he not gotten tired. But against guys like a Danny Jacobs, Canelo did his thing in that fight. What was the weakness that Danny Jacobs had showed in that fight? Was he was in front of Canelo too much. Jacobs should have boxed a little more. He was looking for the fight. I don't even know what the game plan was for Danny Jacobs that fight. Jacobs should have boxed a little bit. should have moved around on his feet a little bit, but Canelo, he was the boxer in that fight. You know, showing supreme head movement and moving his feet and dancing around Danny Jacobs. So, you know, Canelo, he's not bad when it comes to exploiting his opponent's weakness. It's not bad. He's not average. I just don't see it as elite. Some would say that I'm undershooting this skill component. I think it's fair because it's been plenty times to where Canelo really couldn't exploit a weakness. Amir Khan, that ended in a knockout. So it's kind of like, I don't really know how to rate that, because Amir Khan, he was doing good in the Canelo fight. He was doing great, but he got caught. He got set up. So would you say that Canelo had got lucky with a looping right hook to lay out Amir Khan, or was it strategic? Was he exploiting the weakness of Amir Khan dropping his hand to leave himself open? It remains to be debated. I don't want to debate it. I don't want to go back and forth in the comments on, oh man, he exploited Amir Khan's weakness, and it is what it is, man. Canelo Alvarez, opponent weakness, exploitation, solid B. I mean, it's not the most elite, but it is decent. It's respectable. Overall, man, rounding up, you know, all these skill pillars, I give Canelo Alvarez a 92.19%. That is elite. Overall, it's A-. Like I said, I rated his form 97.5%. Physical capabilities 90.85%. Intangibles 91.75%. And strategy execution 88.66%. You add all of those up, divided by 4, you get 92.19%. Overall, Saul Canelo Alvarez, respectfully, it's all unbiased, baby. It's all unbiased. But it's been real, people. It's your boy AR the Equalizer. If you enjoy the content, make sure you hit the subscribe, notification bell, like, share. If you have anything to speak on, you know, any suggestions or disputes or whatever, man, let it all out. Let it all out. Let your voice be heard right there in the comment section. It's been real, man. Until next time, we out.